Ooh, I like my hairstyle today. I cannot believe the amount of noise that these people are making. Oh my god. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video, this is going to be a different sort of a video. I'm going to be talking about trends, beauty trends that are considered evil, or beauty trends that are no longer in trend, that I still do, and the reason why I do all of them. So if you want to know what these beauty trends are, then please keep on watching, before which please take a moment and check if you are already subscribed to my channel. If you're not subscribed to my channel, if this is the first time that you're watching me, then please take a moment to hit the red color subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you do not miss out on any of my content. Now let's get started. The first skincare item that are considered evil and totally unnecessary are sheet masks. So sheet masks have gained a lot of hate over the past few months because they say that it's a waste of money, and you might as well buy a serum or something with that. Collectively you can collect an amount and buy a serum and use it on your face, and that is absolutely true, and I do agree with that. And if you are using a sheet mask, and if it says unclogging pores, or brightening your skin, improving your elasticity, collagen production and stuff like that, you cannot get that with one usage. That is completely true. However, if you're that person who likes to pamper yourself and use sheet masks just for hydration, nothing else, just for hydration, just to feel very nice about yourself after a long day, especially if you're doing like a 9 to 5 job or something, and if you want to relax yourself, put on a sheet mask. There's no harm in doing that once in a while. You need not use these kind of sheet masks on an everyday basis, because that's going to accumulate a lot of waste, let's face that. But what I like to do is use these sheet masks whenever I feel like very very tired, and I just need something to refresh my skin. I need that intense hydration. 15 minutes of this, it just relaxes you on another level. So that's exactly why I use sheet masks, even though they are out of trend, or they are kind of like considered evil and unnecessary at the moment. So the second trend is scrubs. Oh my god, there's a lot of hate for scrubs over the internet, and people are altogether avoiding scrubs, and that's completely a personal choice. If you think that scrubs are going to do a lot of harm to your skin, cause micro tears and stuff, you can avoid it. You can, if you're not comfortable using scrubs, then you need not use scrubs and switch over to chemical exfoliation altogether. But sometimes I do really like using a scrub, so that I have that feeling, I have that satisfaction of getting rid of all that dirt and gunk that has been sitting on my skin. So that feeling is something that chemical exfoliation does not give you. I'm not promoting scrubs here. I'm not asking you to use scrubs on a very regular basis. This is sometimes when you feel that you need something to just remove that top layer, remove all the dead skin cells, remove that dry flaky skin if you have, and that a scrub definitely comes in handy. And make sure to use a mild one. A mild one is something like the Neutrogena daily scrub. Even though it says daily scrub, do not use it every single day. I use it once in a while, like once in 2 weeks, I would say. If I feel like very congested and stuff like that, that just gives me so much satisfaction, that all my dead skin cells are like coming off, and it feels very satisfying, more than chemical exfoliation. So I do enjoy using scrubs every now and then. So the next item that I'm going to be talking about are facial wipes. So all of the facial wipes are receiving so much hate because of how wasteful it is for the environment, and it's not biodegradable and stuff. But I do like using wipes when I do lip swatch videos. I'm not sure what other content creators are using. if they are using something else and if it works quickly like the wipes do, then I would love to make that transition from wipes. So wipes are kind of easy to use whenever I do these lip swatches video, and that's the only time I'm using wipes. I'm not encouraging you to go out and purchase wipes and use that in place of makeup removers. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you why I like using wipes, and I personally use it just for the lip swatch videos and stuff. So that's another like evil beauty trend that I have been doing lately. And the fourth one is this is quite popular these days. It's gaining so much popularity these days, this sort of branding a product just because it has fragrance. Yes, a fragrance can be irritating to sensitive skin. It can cause irritation, it can cause sensitivity for some skin types. I do agree with that, but I am not ready to ignore a product completely just because it has fragrance without even trying it. So I'm gonna try out a product, and even if it has fragrance, I'm gonna try out a product, and I'm gonna just not judge it based on the fact that it has fragrance or not. And if there is a fragrance free product for the same exact thing, for example the Centella face wash from Sugandha, it has an unscented version and a scented version. I would obviously opt for an unscented version, but if there is no option like that, then there's no harm in trying out a product that has fragrance and then deciding whether or not it suits your skin. The best example that I can give you is this has been receiving so much hate. This is the Pond's Super Light Gel, and yes, this has fragrance, but not once has it irritated my skin ever. So if you're somebody with sensitive skin, you might want to avoid this, but if you're like normal skin, not too sensitive and stuff like that, then you can definitely use this. And so using products with fragrance, it's kind of okay, I feel, as long as it does not irritate your skin. Again, every skin is different and every skin reacts to a product in a different manner. So that's something that I wanted to talk about in this video. And the fifth one is glycolic acid in the morning. So there is like a big myth, I would say, surrounding this glycolic acid in general, saying that glycolic acid, I'm not sure if it's a myth or not, but I have used it and it has worked very nicely for me. People say that glycolic acid does not really suit our kind of brown people, brown skin types, and I completely disagree, because I've used a couple of products with glycolic acid. This is the Dr. Sheth's Gulab and Glycolic Toner. I've used a lot of products with glycolic acid in them, and I've used it in the morning. I've had no issues. I've had no like breakouts or any pigmentation or any sort of issue, any sort of irritation. I've never had those things. So I do not mind using glycolic acid in the morning as long as it works for me. So as long as you apply sunscreen, then it's not going to be an issue. So the next thing that's kind of considered evil, and there has been kind of debates on this. I would say half of the people are saying it's okay and half of them are saying it's not okay, is this niacinamide and vitamin C together. It can cause some harmful effect. It can form a chemical compound called niacin, and it can irritate your skin. And those studies, I believe, have been done a very long time ago, and there are more stabilized forms of vitamin C that are available. I use vitamin C and niacinamide together loads of times. I've used it loads of times. I use my vitamin C in the morning, and it has never caused me any sort of irritation. It has worked perfectly for me, and in fact niacinamide has helped me in regulating my sebum production. I don't get this oily sort of nose anymore when I wake up. So I guess niacinamide is working for me in that particular scenario. And the seventh big evil thing that kind of makes people go ugh is nose strip, and they consider that it's very, very harsh on the skin. But I like to use nose strips like very, very rarely, about like 5 months once or something, very, very rare. And I do like using it, and when my nose itches or something, I like just using that and getting rid of all that blackheads. I don't think it removes all the blackheads altogether, but it does remove quite a lot of gunk in there, and I do really enjoy using nose strips. If you're that person who has again sensitive skin, and if you don't want to use nose strips, that's completely fine. I'm just telling you why I like using them, and I use them very, very rarely. And moving on to makeup, and the first makeup trend that was kind of viral a few years ago, I would say, and now it's not receiving as much attention as it used to way before. And I'm talking about color correction. Color correction was like a huge thing, like I guess 1 or 2 years back even, and people have stopped talking about color correction, and especially people now are saying that color correction is not even necessary. There are some people who say color correction is not even necessary, but my argument is that why I always, today also have color corrected my face, why I like color correcting my face, especially using an orange corrector, is that I have like intense hyperpigmentation. People with dusky skin, people with deep dark skin, you can relate to this. We all of us have this hyperpigmentation around the mouth, around the eyes, and rest of our face, like it's very normal and stuff like that. And going with a foundation right on top of that gives a gray look. It does not look good. So color correction is very, very important to me, and it's important to every dusky, deep dark skin tone girl who has hyperpigmentation around your mouth, the dark circles. So it's very, very important in my opinion. So that's something that has lost its popularity, I would say, but I think it's completely necessary. So the next trend, it was kind of trending again quite some time back, but now it's a completely different trend. I'm talking about the boxy eyebrows. I have a very nice boxy eyebrows going on. And the current trend is going in like very light on your eyebrows, doing this feathery sort of eyebrow look. That looks completely adorable, you guys. I love that look, but I don't know how to do that look, so that's why I keep going back to this boxy eyebrows that I always do, and I feel that it looks nice on me. If at all I try and learn how to do this feathery eyebrow look, definitely I would do it. But I also like how this kind of eyebrow look looks like. I think it looks very nice on my face. So this is something that I really enjoy, even though it's completely out of trend. I love doing them. And the third thing is kind of like I would say, I would ask you guys not to do it. Please don't do it, but I still do it. So I'm talking about using expired powdered products. How many of you guys have like an old eyeshadow palette, an old contour palette that you still keep using even though you know that it's expired? Unless it has like a funny smell or something, I do continue using my powder products. Not so much with cream products. I throw out my cream products once I get to know that it's expired. I throw them out. Concealer, foundation, I've actually thrown them out. But with powder products, I like using them because I don't use makeup on an everyday basis, so it's not like a big issue for me, and it hasn't caused any problems for me. But I recommend that you don't do this. I still do it because I don't know, I just like that product so much, and I keep using it again and again even though I know that it's expired. So that's something, that's a stupid thing I would say that I do. So yeah, so those are the 10 beauty trends that are considered evil or unnecessary that I still do. If you enjoy this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please share, comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time in another interesting video. Until then, take care. Tata, bye bye.